and what you need. There's no reason why you have to do everything. You just need to know what you're missing. Be very strategic. Set your goals of what you want and then break them down into smaller steps. Have faith and confidence is the 5th level in yourself, in the process that you're developing, and in the universe that's actually going to help you get to where you want to be. And then the last step is just keep putting one step in front of the other. Keep taking action steps. And I can never give the time frame, but I can always say it's going to happen. Does that make sense?
Sure. Now, talking about the 5th level of a winning mindset, you talk about faith and confidence. So how does confidence and mindset, how does it influence the business, right? And our individual lives? Now, this mindset of a thing, are we talking about good mindset, positive mindset, or what kind of mindset do we need in order, right, to be successful, right, in our business and also our individual lives?
I'm going to back up for a second. I always thought I had the right mindset because I had shot through my career. I was leading billion-dollar companies. The buck stopped with me. And even though I was madly paddling underneath the water like that duck, I knew that I was smart enough to keep on going. The piece that I didn't have was being in touch with what I stand for. I wasn't completely in touch with my personal values. I wasn't living always as that person, that successful person. I wasn't always living my values. So when you ask me, what is it about mindset? How do you get it? Where do you find it? How do you improve upon it? I'm going to say, based on my experience only, spend 30 minutes a day learning, reading, being coached, watching good stuff, filling your brain with amazing stuff. One place that I found to get very clear on how my values were, how I could look at the world differently, how I could be more in touch with people, be more in touch with the realities of people, was I took a membership for $500 at mindvalley.com. It is the absolute cheapest thing that I've found going that could help me organize my beanie as an entrepreneur, as a business person, and as a personal person. What was involved in that? Well, I learned NFT, neuro-linguistic training. I learned self-hypnosis. I learned phrases to give myself to get back onto a high performance level. I learned Asian teachings. I learned Western teachings. I learned African teachings. I learned European teachings. And I just kind of mishmashed them all together and said, well, that bit works, that bit works, that would, and they became routines. So I say to everybody, if you want to be stronger mentally, if you want to have more confidence personally, so that you can be the best you can be professionally, invest in yourself 30 minutes a day. Inside of 3 months, you will notice some changes. I can't tell you what the changes are, but they will be huge for you. Inside of 6 months, you are going to be feeling very powerful, very, very productive. And inside of a year, you're going to look at yourself and say, oh my God, in 12 months, I have become a way better person. And for every business person out there, we all have dreams. We all want to be somewhere, get something, do something. We can't do that today. We have to become the person that we're going to be in order to reach all of our goals, in order to reach all of our objectives. And 30 minutes a day in personal growth is the best way I know to improve your faith and confidence to become the person you need to be to win all the goals, to win all your objectives. Does that make sense?
Right. Moving forward, Charlene, now we want to talk about bulletproofing one's business. Now, I want to share your expertise in this regard. Do we have any strategies that can help business owners, right, CEOs, bulletproof their business? Now, talking about this area of change, talking about COVID-19 and the pandemic, do you have any insights you'd like to share?
So let me give you the reasons behind being very successful and making millionaires throughout my entire life. Business is not about data. Business is not about products. Business is not about tech. Business is about people. Human beings are the foundation of a very successful business, bar none. In business, it's not about the leader. It's not about you. It's about you now in the people business. We all train to be incredible technicians or technocrats or professionals. But once we have a business with people in it, we're now in the business of inspiring and leading those people to do what we want to happen. So COVID has really, really shook the whole business framework. And what I like about it is a bunch of people are saying, you know what, we are tired of being treated like garbage. We're tired of making peanuts. We're tired of not being respected, and they're leaving in so many places. What that is a wake-up call to business owners to say, okay, there really isn't a shortage of people. There really isn't a shortage of well-trained employees. What there is a shortage of people trained in what I call business and people leadership. So if there's one thing that I can say to everybody today, look in the mirror and ask that person, do you really, really know how to treat all the people in your life so that they feel as good as you do? 9 times out of 10, unfortunately, the answer is no. You may have to change your thinking if you want to go to that next level of profitability. You are going to have to change your thinking if you're going to last more than 5 or 10 years.
Right. Now, what you're emphasizing on is that human capital is very instrumental, is very important when we talk about bulletproofing our business, right? Or is the major factor we need to consider?
So my pet peeve is people are not resources. Human resources, garbage, doesn't work. Human capital, garbage, doesn't work. What people are in any business is your equity. So I have a lot of business people saying, well, you don't understand, it's my ass on the line. I've signed off. I've borrowed all this money. The banks are on me. And no, I'm sorry. Yes, your ass is on the line because that's the way it works. But your people are your equity. Your people are the sweat that's going to turn your ideas into really profitable gobs of money, if you will, bags of money. Therefore, if you think in terms of your people as equity, you're going to treat them a whole lot better than you've ever treated them. And I don't care whether you want to talk those people being customers, people being suppliers, people being your teammates, your colleagues, doesn't matter. Your people are equity. And I think the thing that's come out through COVID, all human beings have worth. And that worth is equal regardless of who you are, what you do, what position you hold. And the faster we can get on that page that everyone is worth the same amount, the faster we can go off and make big gobs of money and make a big impact in the world.
Right. Now you mentioned business leaders while in your discussion. Talking about understanding leadership. What are the challenges that are facing business leaders today? Do you have any probable solution or any strategies, right? Suggestions you like to share in this regard?
The biggest problem that I see is that, one, we still have a lot of older people who grew up in the industrial age, and this is the information age. So in the industrial age, people didn't matter. You just told people what to do and paid them a minor. Leading people was not important in the industrial age. A lot of people didn't have good parents who had good abilities in pulling out those amazing qualities. So we didn't have good mentors. We didn't have good parents. We've not had good examples of bosses. So where are we left at? We ourselves aren't very good because we haven't learned. When we went to school, we learned the technical stuff, but I can guarantee you most MBA programs are only focused on data, international stuff, statistics. They're never interested in what makes the human being tick. Let's be nice to the human beings. So all of us are left with, we don't know what we're doing when it comes to people. Do I have a strategy? I do have a couple of strategies. One is go find people who you trust have got their stuff together and they are treating their people well. Before you do that, I go back to my winning mindset. You got to make the decision. Do you want to be part of the new crowd leading the frontier in the world or not? That's a big decision because a lot of people don't want to. They're very happy in the industrial age. But if you want to make a difference, you've got to make that decision and be prepared for all the, oh my God, I'm outside my comfort zone. I feel really scary doing this, because that's what happens. You get yourself some help, either free help by checking in with your mentors or people who have done it better, or you join association groups or mastermind groups, or you deal with a business advisor type who's already been there, got the success, and can say, hey, okay, try this, try this. There is no one solution for everyone, but if you find the right person, they can pull out of you what works best for you to get that information out to your people.
Right. Thank you so much for your insight on Charlene Norman on today's show. Do you have any projects you have in the pipeline you'd like to share with my audience?
Do I have any projects? Yes, I do. I'm on a mission to help all those companies that are feeling lost because of COVID. There's still massive opportunities. So I'm on a mission to help anybody who's interested in accelerating past COVID. I believe there's possibilities all over for everyone. And the other one that I'm on a mission on is to help women who I call our immigrants, who are working their little buns off and they don't understand all the ways to decode the traditional white ideas that have just gone all throughout the entire world. And I'm on a mission to help them because I figured it out. And as a white woman in Beat the White Men, I figure, okay, I've got something to offer to all the women who are interested in moving fast in their own lives. So those are my two projects that I have on the go right now. I'm pretty excited about that.
Pretty excited about that also, Charlie. I wish you best of luck in those missions. Now, do you have any parting words you'd like to share?
Any practical words?
Yes.
This is something I've just recently learned, like maybe in the last 4 or 5 years. Absolutely nothing happens to us. Absolutely nothing. Everything happens for us. And that's a really big leap to make. That didn't happen to me, it happened for me. And the last one I'll tell you is the 4 inches between our ears is the absolute best piece of real estate that we own. Feed the 4 inches with good thoughts and good things happen. Feed the 4 inches with bad things and nothing good ever happens. Pay attention to those 4 inches between your ears.